past semester I've been working on getting my AIG certification, and I've just completed that this past week. And I plan to teach 3rd grade in the fall in Scotland County, which is in North Carolina, 3rd grade math and science.
And so you've already landed a job, so to speak.
Yes.
Okay. And what made you decide to get into teaching?
Well, I didn't want to do teaching to begin with, but I did teacher cadet in high school, and we were in the schools, and I have a really close friend, and I would go to that school and volunteer a lot in her classroom, and I just fell in love with it and had a passion for teaching kids.
Right. Okay. And how did it come about for you to be involved in Camp Starfish?
Well, I was here in May a few months ago with my professor, and my professor that we were with is in the doc program with Dr. Kalapana, and they communicated, and then we got involved through her, and we came.
Great. Well, we'll get more into that, but let's introduce our next guest in studio, and that's Jordan Weber, and he is a PhD student and also a professor, so I guess we can not only call him professor, but we can also call him doctor shortly, correct?
Shortly. A couple of years.
Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, Doc.
Well, you're making me nervous. No, just kidding. I got my bachelor's degree in New York in physical education. I traveled to North Carolina to get my teacher certification in health and physical education. And there, I got my master's degree in health education. And during the time of that process, I was working at an after-school program from 2 to 6. It was with kindergarten through 5th graders, about 80 students. So I had some good experience before landing a job. And I really didn't land a job in the middle schools or high schools full-time, but I did substitute teach for 2 years before getting my master's degree. And then I got a chance to be a mentor for adapted physical education program for kids with disabilities at the University of North Carolina at Wilmington. And there I was given the opportunity to teach college students how to work with students with disabilities. And we work with physical education, health education, recreation, and dance. And we're aligned with national and state standards. And we also work with the education buildings, so we collaborate on campus. And we really get the kids from the community, like we're doing here at Camp Starfish. We get them out, whether it be 2-3 times a week, sometimes it's just once a week, but we get them to the university. We get them in the right hands, which is the most important part of getting these kids with the disabilities, mental and physical disabilities, give them the chance to be with people that are educated enough to help them become more independent, and that really helps ease the stress off of parents and siblings who are are independent of their child, so they have to really cope with those issues at home, whether it be physical disabilities. If a student's in a wheelchair, what do you do? How do you get them to be fit? How do you get them to be healthy?
Right.
What food should they eat? What food should they stay away from? So I work a lot with the nutrition side, the diet side, also the fitness, and I specialize in yoga therapy for students and children with autism, but also other physical and mental disabilities as well, cerebral palsy, you name the disability, I'll get in there and do what I can, whether it be just breathing activities. If the student isn't social or if they don't communicate effectively, it may just be breathing activities. It might just be imitation or physical skills and sports. And
it's all related to children.
Children and adults.
Children and
so
adults.
All the whole spectrum, anyone with a disability at any age.
Okay. And Chris and Brittany, are you guys also involved in special education? Or is that a part of your studies? Or?
Well, I mean, for me, I want to work with kids and hopefully get the kids adapted into classrooms with regular kids. That's like kids with special needs. So I want to get them to where they can integrate into a classroom like that. So I don't want to take over a classroom full of kids with special education. I want to work on the side where I can hopefully take what the teacher certification class has done and hopefully integrate them into a classroom with kids without disabilities.
Right.
That's what I want to do.
And Brittany, in your training as a elementary education, is there a big focus on ministering to and taking care of special needs kids as part of the curriculum?
A lot of our classes were focusing on differentiation, and a lot of that we had to plan for the ones who were below the average and above. So we did get a good dose of that. We didn't have a set class